Hey fishing friend, JC here with Rad Reeling Fishing. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys things from the Dollar Tree. Yeah, everything is $1 that fishermen can use, and there is a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to get to it, you guys, right after this. First item we have is super glue. There are a lot of different packages of super glue at the Dollar Tree. You can even get 5-minute epoxy at the Dollar Tree. That's what I use to fix the broken fishing handle, the one that I broke in the rod holder on the kayak. Yeah, 5-minute epoxy. And also, you guys, I use super glue for DOA shrimp, soft plastics. You know how the hook is always sliding down on soft plastics and it gets like really annoying? Yeah. I use super glue to hold those hooks in place. I also use super glue on my FG knots to finish off the FG knot, to make sure those half hitches or risotto finish, whatever it is that I'm using on that knot, make sure it does not come undone. And the other thing that I use super glue for is if I have to repair a fishing guide on one of my fishing rods, I have to rewrap it with the twine and everything, I'll actually take the eye and I'll lightly super glue it in place. I'll get it aligned while the glue is drying. And then when I go to wrap the thread around the eye, I actually use the super glue, a little bitty drop on the thread to hold it in place, let that dry, and then it just makes wrapping that line around the guide a lot easier. Anyway, you guys, I did a complete budget fishing rod redo, and I made a video of it, so I'll make sure that I put a link in the description area that you guys can go check it out. Throughout this video, I'm going to have videos that I'm going to link down in the description area, and I'll probably mention it. Make sure you check that out after you watch the rest of this goodness. You're also going to find batteries at the Dollar Tree. Yeah, all different sizes, AAA, AA, C size, and D size batteries. And along with batteries, you guys, go back a little bit further and you're going to find flashlights for $1 that take AAA batteries, $2. You have a flashlight that will just absolutely blind you, man. I mean, this thing is awesome. Yeah, a lot of different things you can use batteries for when you're fishing. I specifically use the D-size batteries for my aerator, my bubbles aerator, and I also use the AA batteries for the smaller bubbles aerator. So yeah, good deal on batteries for $1. Heck yeah, everything's $1. Paracord, guys, you can use paracord for all kinds of stuff. Make rod leashes with it. Use the paracord to tie your bait bucket onto. Kayakers use paracord for anchors. There are a lot of different uses for paracord. And speaking of other items at the Dollar Tree, oh yeah, they have carabiner clips that you can use on the paracord, yeah, to make those leashes and things for your bait bucket and stuff like that. And storage containers, endless sizes and styles of storage containers, a multitude of uses for those. I use them to keep lures in at the house, to keep hooks in, just to keep all of my tackle organized. But let me tell you, one of the things that I use these for is I'll take a medium-sized storage container, I'll heat up a small piece of metal, right? And I'll poke a hole through the storage container. Then I'll take a piece of fishing line or braid or whatever that's about, 4 feet long, 4 or 5 feet long. I'll tie it onto that. And if I have a carabiner clip, I'll put a carabiner clip on the other end of it. And then I'll clip that onto my belt loop while I'm out there wade fishing. I'll put my lures in it and I just pull it behind me when I'm wade fishing. It's a great way to haul your tackle with you, and it keeps your tackle dry, right? You're also going to find a lighter there for $1 that you can use when you're heating up the metal to poke the hole in the plastic or burn the end of the paracord. And what about the laundry baskets? I see guys that have boats out there throwing their cast nets, and they like to empty their cast nets inside of the laundry basket. It keeps all the seaweed and junk contained in one area. And you're also going to find permanent markers at the Dollar Tree. What are you going to use a permanent marker for? Well, you're going to use it to label this. Rad Reeling. You'll also find rubbing alcohol there so that you can wipe off the labeling that you put on the container, right? Also, your permanent marker, you guys, I saw Roland Martin, you guys that are bass fishermen, if you're using like a light colored braided fishing line, you can use that black permanent marker to make your line darker when you are tying your braided fishing line directly on to your lure. When you're doing that punching through the weeds and stuff, yeah, that's a really cool tip right there. And speaking of alcohol, you can tend to all of those wounds that you're gonna get from catching all those fish And they have hydrogen peroxide, Band-Aids, and everything else that you need to take care of your wounds. Lots of different sizes of glow sticks that people use for night fishing. I've never used them, but apparently they work well for when you put them on into your fishing rod and on bobbers and stuff like that. Paper clips, different sizes of paper clips. I saw a guy at the jetties. He had taken a paper clip and he put his sinker on the paper clip. He had that at the bottom of his line. He took his line, he tied it on the other end of the paper clip, and then he had his hook up higher so that whenever he would cast it out, if the weight got hooked up on the rocks and he pulled on his line, it would straighten out the paper clip and he would get the paper clip and the hook back, and he would only lose the sinker. You're also going to find small storage containers with the little compartments in them. Those would be great, you guys, for putting small hooks in and swivels and sinkers, or like little crappie jigs or whatever. You'll find them scattered throughout the store in all the different departments, a lot of different types of, those small compartmentalized storage units. And they have the car wash sponges, you guys. These are great for cleaning anything, right? But beyond that, I made a video one time where I opened up the hull of my kayak and it had water inside, and I was using a towel to get the water out. A brilliant subscriber said, hey, why don't you just get you a sponge and put it inside of the hull of the kayak? That'd be even better, right? And sandpaper. Go to Home Depot's, Lowe's, Ace Hardware. It is expensive to buy an assortment of sandpaper for $1. Look at all the sandpaper. Yeah, a multitude of uses. Fisherman, like I just got through fixing the rust on the top of my car from hauling the kayak for 2 years up there with salt water dripping on it. Yeah, rust spots. I could have used this for $1. Just look at all that sandpaper. Look at all that. This next item, you might already have one, but you could buy an extra one. Keep it in your car or keep it in your boat. A sharpening stone for $1. Yeah, to sharpen your hooks and your knives. How many times I've been out there and I caught fish and I'm on my way home, I needed to fillet my fish and I didn't have something to sharpen my knife. Sometimes I'll sharpen it on the car window, but yeah, sharpening stone. Just keep it with you. What, it's only $1, right? And they've got gloves there. They've got gloves that have rubber on the palm side. And I'm not talking that thin, cheap rubber, you guys. This was nice, thick. I mean, look at the grip on that rubber. I've been into tackle stores and seen Rapala gloves for like $20. It's probably the same glove that you can get at the Dollar Tree. You're just paying for the Rapala name, right? What about that micro screwdriver set? You guys, spinning reels have always got really, really small screws on them. And these guys have even got the twirly handles on the end of them. Reels have always got these little bitty screws whenever you have to work on a reel. And you got to have a small screwdriver, and that fits that little screw perfectly right there. The thing is coming right out. Zip ties, you gotta have zip ties to run the wires for your fish finders. You guys that have kayaks, use zip ties on your anchor. Yeah, I used zip ties when I installed my fish finder. I coiled up the wire. Yeah, there's a multitude of uses for zip ties. This next item, I was totally surprised to find it at the Dollar Tree. Hand warmers. Are you kidding me? Yeah, you gotta have some hand warmers when it's cold. And there's always something, eventually you're gonna need some type of spray oil, duct tape, lots and lots of duct tape, different colors of duct tape. Yeah, plenty of duct tape. This next item, I have never had a need to use them, but I have seen people use them. Balloons, or using them as bobbers. Oh yeah, all different sizes and colors of balloons. When I first started this channel, I made a video of how to make a chum bag using Dollar Tree laundry mesh bags. Make sure you get the ones with the zipper because you actually get 3 bags for $1. Yeah. Look at that. Just zip them open, stick your chum in there, and you're good to go. And the ones with the zipper have bigger holes in them for the scent and stuff to seep through. They've got clothesline. You could use that for anything. Anchor line, bait bucket line, hang up your laundry when you go camping. Yeah, just another line, kind of like the paracord and the nylon rope, but it's all $1. There's 5 items in this section. You got Q-tips, toothbrush, Vaseline, spray oil, and alcohol. Use your Q-tip, your toothbrush, and alcohol to clean off your reel parts when you're breaking down your reel. And then when you put them back together, use the Vaseline to grease up the gears, and of course your spray oil on the outside bail parts and stuff like that. They've got a section with nail polish. The other night, my bait casting rod, one of the eyes broke on it. I had to strip it off, and I didn't have any bait casting eye, so I just put a spinning eye on there, and the rod was actually scraped from when I scraped the thread off. The Dollar Tree had a perfect match blue to touch up that fishing rod. Amazing. You guys, when I did the budget refinishing on the Snookmaster rod, I put the link in the description area. Make sure you watch this video first. But in that video, I used several different kinds of nail polish during the refinishing process of that fishing rod. This next one is an excellent way for cutting monofilament or fluorocarbon fishing line. Get you some nail clippers, get the big ones, and then you can take some of that paracord that you bought from the Dollar Tree, cut you off a big piece of that, thread it through, and you'll have you a lanyard. You can put that around your neck and you'll always have your clippers with you when you're out there fishing. And for the outdoorsman who likes to just clean up every now and then while he's out there making a mess, yeah, you've got wipes, you guys. The perfect thing to bring along when you're camping or fishing or whatever it is that you're doing out there in the outdoors. And in Florida, it is so important to hydrate, right? You got to have water. I always buy these little 6-packs of water at the Dollar Tree. And not only do I drink them when I'm out there, but after I use the fresh water out of the bottle, I'll bring them home. I will refill them, stick them in my freezer. And you guys know I am the budget fisherman. I very rarely buy bags of ice, only if I have to. I always just pull those frozen bottles out of my freezer and I use those. And I'm telling you what, I probably save $200 or $300 a year by not buying bags of ice. And when I'm out there on the water, those frozen bottles, I'll actually take them out of the cooler and let the sun thaw them out, and I'll drink them and I'll have cool water while I'm out there. So yeah, get you some of those. Ziploc bags. I put tackle in Ziploc bags. Obviously, I put my fish fillets in Ziploc bags. I put all kinds of stuff in Ziploc bags to stay organized. I don't think I need to say anything about this one. And did you guys see the video that I made the other day using the pool noodle to strip the fishing line off of my fishing rod? If not, I'll put a link in the description area. You guys can go check that out. There's a multitude of uses for pool noodles. You guys have seen all those little hacks. People use them for rod holders and in their kayaks for hooking lures on. People use them to make bobbers on for like the floaty things, you know, the free lines that you put your bait on, they float around. I don't think those are legal in Florida, so be careful doing that. I think I read that the other day. But anyway, there's a bunch of uses for pool noodles, you guys. You guys have seen me use them for several different things on this channel. This next item, you guys don't see me use these very often. I probably should just go to the Dollar Tree and get a pack for $1, right? But these little beads, you see pompano fishermen using these beads all the time, and people use these beads to protect their swivels from the sinker hitting on the swivel and messing up the line. Yeah, you can get a bunch of those things, different colors, shapes, and sizes for $1. You don't have to have a hot melt gun to repair the tip on your fishing rod. All you need is a little bit of hot melt glue from the Dollar Tree. Take that lighter that you bought for $1, heat up that glue, rub it on the tip of your rod, and then slide that new tip on. You'll be good to go. Now this next one, I have never done it, but I have seen some guys on the internet do it. You might enjoy trying to make a minnow trap for catching minnows, for bluegill and crappie, stuff like that. Yeah, just take 2 of these little wire basket things and put them together with the zip ties that you got at the Dollar Tree too, right? And you guys know, I do not spend a lot of money on needle nose pliers. $1 at the Dollar Tree? Are you kidding me? And when they get rusty, just put them in one of those storage containers that you purchase for $1. Pour a little bit of vinegar in there and it'll eat that rust away. Yeah, I'm always, forever, I am losing needle nose pliers, dropping them in the water. I actually had a really expensive pair of those aluminum ones. I mean, they're like $25, right? 3 months after I had them, they were like twisted and warped and I could hardly open and close them. I'm like, are you kidding me? $25 for these things, 3 months, and they're not even working. And if you happen to forget your pocket knife, no worries, you can get a folding knife at the Dollar Tree, and it actually has a locking blade on it. Yep, you can measure your fish with this one. I use this next item for a lot of different things when I'm fishing, to clean my tennis shoes. Also, I have a nylon cast net, and it's bleach, you guys. I have to bleach my white nylon cast net. That thing gets nasty and stinky, and I just put it in a 5-gallon thing of bleach and water, and it comes out all nice and clean and white. So I probably spent more money on items at the Dollar Tree while I was shopping around to make this video, more money on that stuff than what this video is going to actually make. But you guys can help me with that if you will share this video, comment, and also give it a thumbs up. We'll get more views on this video, and then I'll make a little bit of extra extra money to help cover the expensive. I didn't waste my money. This is all things that I will use in my fishing adventures and my outdoor adventures, and you guys are going to find things that you've already seen, things that you can use there as well. Definitely a good investment on my part. I thank you guys so much for watching these videos. Without you, all of this stuff would not be possible. So thumbs up are appreciated. Get out there and go fishing, man. Life is fun. Live it. See ya.